Hello. My name is Maria Canales Bennett.
Are we going? You're just going for, are you?
What, am I on?
No, you're not even on. Neither am I. Nope, I am. You're not.
Fine. I'll do it again. You can cut out the beginning.
No, put mine. Let me see.
Just put it in your beard. Hello.
Okay, wait.
My name is Maria Canales Bennett.
And I am Mike Bennett.
And this is the 7th. Use your hands. Do you know how to use them? Good.
Yay! Thank you. Yeah, balloons. I'm so happy. This is going to be a good podcast. I can feel it.
Good. This is the 7th edition of Adult Conversations podcast. And today we discuss my most hated of topics, the thing that I have detested with great disdain, that it disgusts me to the point of wanting to scream, holler, and possibly run away. Patience.
Hold on, before we get started. That was not a fart, I promise. I'm going to move these because all you can see is these little straws.
We're also crooked.
Good.
I can tell that you set this up because look at how crooked this is.
We're not crooked.
We're
straight.
totally crooked.
The couch cushions are crooked.
No. I'm
I'm
in the center.
Right in
No,
the
I am in the center. You are.
I'm crooked.
Why
Maybe
are you
I'm
off to the
crooked.
side? Why would you put it this way?
I don't know. I panicked.
You panicked.
No,
You had like all morning.
I didn't.
How can you panic?
I didn't panic. All right. What are we talking about besides my lack of ability to set the podcast up properly?
Patience.
Patience, as Carver likes to do. He goes, Daddy.
Great. You know why I hate patience so much?
Tell me.
I hate it because it is such a contradiction. Okay? So, now, I love Mel Robbins, but she has the 5-second rule.
Mm-hmm.
That's not patience. That's doing it within 5 seconds. Right?
Yes. Okay, continue.
Okay. So then, the art of war.
The patience comes in knowing that the 5-second process is a process. So it's not just going to work immediately. It's something that you can do instantly that over time will essentially pay off. That, I believe, is where the patience lies. This is where the power lies.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Sorry. Don't know. And if it has anything to do with wrestling, I've probably shut it off so I don't remember anything about it.
You've shut that portion of your brain off.
Yeah, I don't.
You had a pro wrestling lobotomy.
I did. I did my time. I did 20 years.
You did in the clink.
I did. Which falls in line with the whole patience thing, just so you know.
Falls in line how?
All right. So, I spent... this is going to drive me freaking bananas.
At the Copa.
See, now we are even. And now there. You see this? Now we're even. Anyways, would you stop? Enough.
You're patient with me. Not today, she's not.
Okay, so I spent 20 years in professional wrestling. Okay, I remember at the very beginning of my wrestling career, people telling me, "Just be patient. You'll get it. Just be patient." And back then, it drove me insane. Well, just wait. The wheel comes around and you'll get what you deserve and you'll get the accolades and you'll get the blah, blah, blah. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting. 20 years later, waiting for that whole situation to come around.
I don't know if there's a time frame on patience, though. That's...
Again, this is why I hate it.
Like, I feel like it would be easy to be patient if it was like, you gotta wait 2 years. Okay, I got 2 years. You know there's an end game. But most patient I think all patience, true patience, comes with the.
You will hear the garbage man. He
The
just
unknown,
arrived
right?
to our house.
Hello, garbage man.
Which is why I hate it so much.
What, the garbage man?
No.
Oh, he's great.
I know he's great. I give him a gift every year.
He's one of those garbage men that if you leave, like if you have extra trash and you leave it on the side, he gets out and puts it away for. It's just.
It's lovely.
Unsung fucking
That's why
heroes.
I give him a gift every year.
Deserves a gift.
At Christmas time. And I don't give like a measly like, ooh, I mean, every gift is a nice gift, okay? So
Measly.
Gonna be like,
what a great word. I don't give a measly.
Just because you're from the East Coast and have never heard certain words does not mean that like you need to act like this is a newly invented word.
New England, they would say.
Yeah, thumbs up to that. Great.
I gave him a wicked awesome gift. Not some wicked terrible.
Wicked is a movie. Anyways,
Lar. My goal is to make.
This is his favorite. This is his favorite.
See, yes, thumbs up. She gets to the point where she has to laugh. She fights it so hard. Look at, she's biting her tongue. It's bleeding.
Easy. I'll bite your tongue and make it bleed.
Ooh, it's a different kind of podcast.
It is an adult podcast, though. Anyways, so what the hell was I even talking about? Thank you. Thank you, sir.
The measly gift that you give.
Okay, anyways, I give the garbage man usually a Starbucks cup and a Starbucks gift card because I think you didn't put it on the...
On Do Not Disturb.
Yeah,
no,
you didn't do it. Okay, so now we have to...
No, we can fix it. We can fix it. Hold on. Watch this.
Okay, great. Now everybody gets to see your finger.
There's a Do Not Disturb thing.
Press focus.
Focus.
What?
There
is a moon.
Focus.
Great. Do Not Disturb at the top.
Thank you.
Good.
Oh, baby.
Are we back? Are we still
it's going to be great. There's going to be...
Your finger.
My fat finger and close-up of my face. It's going to be great. Record high views. Mike Bennett gets up close and personal.
With his finger.
I should do like from Ace Ventura.
That also sounds very filthy. You get up close and fingered.
It's not even an innuendo. That was just...
That was just outright.
I said it.
Or inright.
Oh, come on. I'm getting hot and bothered.
It doesn't take much, folks. It doesn't take.
What were we talking about? I don't remember. It was a trash man, patience, 20 years in wrestling. Where the fuck is your... How much longer do you have to be patient for?
Anyways, I get all of that. I get that, there's no time frame on patience and that God has a plan and that, I should trust the process and I should blah, blah, blah. But does anybody ever feel like, fuck all of that? I don't care. You could get sometimes.
Fuck you and your process.
Sometimes that's what I feel like. And I know that somebody in the wonderful world of wrestling is going to be, what did you ever do for the business? Me.
Wow, that was graphic.
I don't care. My podcast. This is why. This is my podcast. I do what I want.
Why is someone going to say that?
Oh, because it happens all the time. Well, what did you ever do?
Well, who cares?
20 years.
I mean,
okay?
At this point...
Sometimes I feel like, why do I have to, express any of that? I should,
You don't.
I should not have to. Anyways, the whole point of of that is there have been multiple times that I have pitched shows that were incredible concepts put together with incredible people that for whatever reason that I don't think it has anything to do with patience, even though everybody's going to say, oh, it's you should be more patient. Where there was talent on there that deserved the opportunity to express themselves and their story, and it ended up going nowhere because other things got involved. And I could mention names or certain names of shows or whatever, which I'm not going to do because I don't need to do that in this particular podcast because it's my podcast.
Say whatever the fuck you want.
But I don't want to. I don't want to give those people any more power over my situation or my life. But there have been so many times that things that coulda, woulda, shoulda never did. And everybody always wants to tell me it's about being patient and the timing's not right. And I have even said to myself, which annoys myself, that it's just because the timing is wrong.
What's the alternative? Blow it to smithereens?
I like blowing shit up. This is the problem.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
It
Then you
feels
have to
so
rebuild.
good.
It feels great until you got to rebuild, and so that doesn't help. So yeah, I believe that you just. I think there are moments in life when you need to be assertive and proactive, but I think as an overall arching theme of your life, I think you need to be patient. You need to wait it out because so much changes. What you got for me?
The quality of decision is like the well-timed swoop of a falcon, which enables it to strike and destroy its victim. See, even in the art of war, do they like to destroy?
It's called the art of war, not the art of patience.
But they're talking about patience because a falcon will just like, I am a falcon. I am watching. I am
And then it'll just
falconing.
fucking
And then
attack.
the rabbit is now interested in some food. And now I will swoop and kill.
Still patient. Can you imagine if you just want to swoop and kill?
I
With zero, you want the attack right away, but you need patience. Clearly, even in war.
But this is my whole point. Like, you're supposed to be decisive with your decision making, and everybody right now on social media, every like billionaire that's talking about making decision making is like, you have to move quicker than everybody else.
Okay.
Every podcast that I've heard talks about how you're supposed to move quickly, be decisive, make your decisions, but and I feel as if I do that and I'm doing it and I'm making these decisions and I'm trying to, accomplish the next thing and I'm using all my efforts into this, and then poof.
Because I don't think
Like
you
a
ever.
sperm. Poof. There's nothing there. I mean, there is now.
Magic Dragon. No, it's a big deal for me. I'm sorry. You said something about my sperm and I lost what you were saying.
I was talking about how I make these decisions swiftly. Yes. And
then quickly.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, again, it's the overall theme. Like, I also don't think you see like compounding interest. Like, you make these things quickly and it does benefit you, but I don't think necessarily you see it right away, which like a lot of people don't. And then you'll have moments where you're like, oh shit, I've actually grown quite a bit. And it's because of those decisive moments where you acted quickly, but then you were patient to let the rest of it all fall into place. Like, you're very good at making the decisive decisions. I'm not. But I'm very good at the patient part. Like, you're very good at like, oh, like, this is what it is. This is what it's going to be. We're going that way. And then you want instant reward or instant consequence.
Yeah, I did my job.
What comes next?
I did my job.
Sometimes you won't see that for a while. And you have to trust. You have to trust that it's working. That's why you turn to a higher power sometimes. Hey, I don't have a fucking clue. Could you help me out? Okay, I'll trust that you, like, this is what you got for me. All right, cool. That's the patience. The trick is to be decisive and patient all at the same time.
I will counter you with this.
Counter me with something.
Is there any other alternative, though, than to be patient? This is the hypocritical part. There's literally no alternative. you have to be patient. Even if you're angry about having to be patient, you still have to be.
Yeah.
Because if nothing is happening, you are forced to sit in that limbo of unknowing.
Yeah, that's just a part of life.
There's several things in our life right now that are literally just being put on hold. So like we did the whole there's an egg and there's some sperm and we did that and now there's embryos that are growing and we're hoping that they all grow.
Science lesson there.
Like
you show me that again? Yep.
And it goes in and then
you have a baby.
And then what happens is over
Parenting
the next
advice right here, folks.
5 to I think 3 to 5 days, what you want is the embryos to all be like, yes. No, turn it into an embryo that's a bio
weapon.
Something.
Oh.
No. Punch you. Anyways, so we're waiting on that process right now. I'm hopeful that that's great. There's another thing that's a major thing going on in our life that we have to be patient for, and we're waiting because there's paperwork and there's
that we just found out today was supposed to happen.
Which is why I'm angry.
Very angry about it today, and we're trying to walk her through it. So you could give me another thumbs up.
No one cares. So there's all these things in our life, but there's no alternative. So you have to be patient, and it's just
the alternative.
The only choice you have in it is, am I angry about this or am I just at peace?
That's an alternative. That's a choice. You can make a choice on how you want to handle it.
But you cannot choose to be patient.
No. But
it's forced upon you. I hate that. Like anybody that tells me,
like that. Why do you think people become addicts? The fucking monotony of having to sit around and wait and that's when I became an addict. Like just the monotony and the boringness. And it's like, fuck, like I need that extra and I can't have it.
You need the fart?
I need that extra fart. But that's, I think, so much of growing up, at least for me, is realizing like you have to be patient. And it's not about whether you can change that part. It's about how you want to react to it. Do you want to be miserable about it? Or do you want to say to yourself, I accept it and this is just part of it. Like, it's not wrong. It's actually very right. You just accept it. That to me gives me a lot of strength where I'm like, I can make the decision to accept this today. That it's going to keep going and take time. I don't know. That gives me a lot of it gives me a lot more control than letting that thing control me. Of like, I'm going to, because I don't want to go through life being...
Stand straight, not straightened, from Marcus Aurelius in Meditations.
Stand straight, not straightened?
Yeah, do you know what that means? I love this. This is always my favorite thing. Sometimes we listen to songs and I'm like, do you understand what this means? And he's like, I have no idea.
She thinks I'm stupid.
I don't think you're stupid.
Stoopid.
What is it? What's in the back 40?
A fire. Why? What?
I wasn't making fun of you not being able to say R's.
You gave me that look like say it stupidly. Fire. But then I just said it like a rock band.
So what song is it? Come on, here's your boy.
It's Zach Bryan's song.
So Zach Bryan, there's a fire in the back 40.
Better something, better times,
better days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so there's a line in it talking about there's a fire in the back 40. And I was like, do you know what that means?
No idea.
And so he's like, first 40 years of your life? I lost my shit internally because I didn't want to embarrass.
That's a very good guess. There's a fire burning in the back 40 years of your life. You still got a fire burning. Or you're in the back 40 years of your life. Or you're in your late 40s. There's a million different things it could mean.
It's talking about the 40 acres.
I didn't know it was an actual meaning. I understand it now. I didn't know it was a phrase.
40 is usually the property that you don't pay any attention to.
Thank you, Hillbilly. Hillbilly Jim over here. Thank you.
That's not hillbilly. It's just common knowledge. I figured everybody knew that.
Straight or straighter? What?
No, stand straight, not straighten. Do you know what that means?
Stand for who you are, not how people think you are. Don't let people straighten you up. Stand straight in your own dignity.
Exactly. So why is Marcus Aurelius telling me this, but then I have to abide by the rules
There's
of
no
whatever
rules.
patience
What
is
does
being
Marcus Aurelius
bestowed
say
on
about
me?
patience, because I'm sure he has said a lot. Maybe you should have researched that before we started the podcast, because
I don't want to.
there's a part of me that thinks he probably had something in there about fucking patience.
I
don't think being patient is conforming. I actually think it's the opposite of conforming, because so many people have no patience whatsoever. Like, I find if you're a patient person, especially nowadays with the fucking crazy world we live in with phones and everything and travel, it's like, if you're a patient man, then you're
never stop
different.
erasing impressions by saying to yourself, at this moment, it's up to me whether or not this soul of mine is harmed or in need, or in fact is disturbed in any way. By seeing all things as they truly are, I deal with each of them on its merits. Remember that if you have this possibility granted to you by your nature. This is again talking about not putting anybody else putting their on you. If you decide you are not harmed, you are not harmed.
Yes.
If you decide,
and you can apply that to patience. If you decide,
but then patience becomes like gravity. Like it's just you.
Yes.
You must.
Why do you think they talk about like monotony in the Bible? Because it's a ever going thing. Like it's always been there. That's life.
I like me in green.
I like you in nothing.
How about in green grass? See, I can just change his mind like this.
Oh, I forgot what we were talking about. What I mean, what that's just how I'm wired, baby.
Yeah, I'm struggling with that because I not with you liking me. That's fine.
Be difficult.
Also like gravity, it just happens. I'm struggling with patience right now, big time. Like there's so many things that are happening in our lives that I must be patient for, and I know it, but I don't want to do it.
Don't you think during these moments are when people fuck up the most? Like, that's why it's so incredibly important to understand that sometimes you just have to let things happen.
Well, it's like I told you earlier. I was putting off sitting down and getting ready for this podcast. But I informed you that because I don't have the feeling of wanting to do the podcast, I have the feeling of wanting to do other things, which I don't want to waste that either. Because that's energy in itself. And so I don't want to waste the energy that I had to put some socks together, which is also just an awesome task people have to do. And
especially little kid socks, because they're little tiny ones and you gotta find them.
You don't ever do it.
What? No, I know. That's why I know how difficult it is.
If it was up to you, there would just be a pile of socks that every day we had to just hunt because he's patient and I'm not. Like there are certain things that like I do wish that I had like that. Because when my son, who is like the most adorable, like he's so just like all the time, and I love it. That I also want him to like just put his clothes on. Just put your clothes on. Like I get it that you're really, excited about the fact that you're standing there naked and you're just really happy about it. But like it's time to go to school. Let's get out the door. Or there's times where the kids it's winter time, and for some reason at that time in the winter, that's when kids decide they don't want to be buckled up. So they're doing like the YMCA as you're trying to buckle them. And I'm like, YMCA, and I'm trying to buckle them in. What?
They like the Minions YMCA.
That's nice. That has nothing.
Sorry. These are the things I take away. Go ahead. Patience. YMCA.
While I'm trying to get the kids
And it's
buckled into
freezing
the car.
cold outside.
And it's freezing cold outside. And I hate the cold. The fact that I live here is just
I think there's a question to be asked, like, why does life test your patience all at one time sometimes? You know? Like, why are there moments in life where it doesn't feel like one thing after the other is like, well, you gotta wait, well, you gotta wait, well, you gotta wait. And then other times there are moments where it's like, well, you gotta wait, you gotta wait. Like, why?
Why does everything pile on?
Yeah, what does that mean? Is that just...
Well, it's the whole thing.
Closer to a breakthrough? Like, is that closer to getting to where you want to be?
I asked for flowers, so I got rain. Mm-hmm. Like, I know that I'm supposed to conquer this patience problem I have. I know it. And I know that's why it piles on. Because I'm a very strong person, but then eventually it starts to break me down. Sometimes I feel like I'm getting like this, hey, figure it out, ma! I'm just crushing me, and I'm just like, I get it. But then it just makes me angry again.
Why?
Why does it make me angry?
Yeah.
That I'm forced into doing something? I don't know. It's probably something from my childhood.
Yeah, but you do have a choice on how you want to react to it. That's the thing.
But I don't have a choice of whether or not I have to be patient, and I don't like that. See? Like,
but you didn't have a choice. Like, there's so many things in life you don't have a choice in.
Right,
you just
gravity.
Have to do it because it's part of existing. That is patience.
I still don't like it. I don't like any of it. Okay, the thousands.
Going back to your little book, what was happening?
This is one of my first books that I got to try and learn how to be peaceful.
Deal with patience.
Okay. Better than a thousand hollow words is one word that brings peace. Better than a thousand hollow verses is one verse that brings peace. Better than a hundred hollow lines is one line of the law brings peace. It is better to conquer yourself than it is to win 1,000 battles when the victory is yours. It cannot be taken from you, not by angels or demons, heaven or hell. See, I just want to win, because as soon as I win at this, then it can't be taken away by any of people. See? Even the Dalai Lama.
That was talking about winning.
I'm not talking about winning. I was talking about finding peace within yourself.
Yes, through patience. Right? Like, what was it? What better than 1,000 verses?
No, I'm going to continue.
So you must go
better
through
than 100 years of worship, better than 1,000 offerings, better than giving up 1,000 worldly ways in order to win merit, better even than tending in a forest a sacred flame for 100 years is one moment's reverence for the man who has conquered himself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Through patience. There was 100 years, 100 whatever.
To revere such a man, a master, old in virtue and holiness, is to have victory over its life itself. See? Victory over life itself. That's what I want.
Who won?
And beauty, for the hair. Strength, and happiness. Better than 100 years of mischief is one day spent in contemplation. Better than 100 years of ignorance is one day spent in reflection.
Oh.
Better than 100 years of idleness is one day spent in determination. Better to live one day wondering how all things arise and pass away. Better to live 1 hour seeing the one's life beyond the way. Better to live one moment in the moment of the way beyond the way. I want to be beyond the way of patience.
You can't get to beyond the way without 100 years, without 1,000 miles, without whatever the other numbers were. There's a reason why it's like a bunch to get to one.
I don't like it, but
I'm sorry, but that's just life.
yeah, I guess I guess you have to at
And
some point
you're going to keep being tested on it.
I know, until you conquer it, you are tested on it. I know all about it.
Then, even after you conquer it, you still get tested on it to be like, are you sure you conquered it? Like, are you sure? Did you really get over it? Huh? Huh?
You hit me one more time, I'll punch you back.
See?
I guess I don't know. I think part of it is like I I want things to happen quick. And not only that, but I want them to happen quick because my assumption is I put in enough effort so that it would make it happen. And like it should just happen because I think I put in enough effort. And I think sometimes the struggle for me is that even though I may believe I put in enough effort and I've done enough, I haven't done enough yet.
Yeah.
Which is really tough for me.
Well, it's because you have to be incredibly self-aware to know that. Like to say to yourself, like, oh, everybody wants to say they did enough, and it's just not fair that, I feel
Yeah,
like
well,
but
and
you are saying to yourself, like, oh, okay, there's a possibility I didn't do enough. That's being.
oh, there's a clear possibility because I jump all over the place. This is
I
like
think it's the only way to go. To me, it's like that Jocko book, Extreme Ownership. The only thing you can ever do is like take on all the responsibility. Like I'm in complete control because you just you can't control what other people do. So always saying like, all right, I'm always just going to control what I can control. That's how I look at extreme ownership. Like everything that's in my purview that I can control, I'm going to do that. Because the minute I try to focus on controlling other people, I lose it. The plot is lost.
Yeah, I mean my issue is because I've had so many hardships and because I've had so much chaos, I believe that part should be like part of the work. You know what I mean? And it's just not. Like and that's just
Well, that's a frustrating part about life too.
yeah, well,
Fair.
it's the baseline. So this is what my base is. Fired a bunch of times and broke and my house was foreclosed on out in LA in 2010 or was it 10 or 11? 2011 and that
Fired.
yeah, I think because of that sometimes I think, well, haven't I been challenged enough? I know you love how I say challenge. I know.
Challenged. It's very Midwest.
It is. And because of all of those things, sometimes I just want to be like, I feel like dance monkey dance all the time, like or the scene in Gladiators. Is this not enough? Are you not entertained? Like I sometimes I feel like that. And maybe that's a little too self-important to feel like sometimes I'm just standing in my front yard and I'm just like, are you not entertained? And I'm looking at God and I'm like, hey, I've done this. I did the pain and the all of this shit, and it should be enough because of that. But I think specific topics sometimes I don't spend enough time on because all of the other chaos that has happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if I put in all the effort of recovering from all of those things that have happened, of like, okay, you don't have a house. All right, now build back up to buying another house, or oh, you get fired from WWE. Okay, build back up to becoming, enough of a star to where you can eventually go back to WWE where they can fire you again. Awesome. Like, I've done the steps to like, but now when you venture out into other things of like, okay, I would like to now, I'd like to have a television deal for Women's Wrestling Army, or I would like to, have a event management business that specializes in floral arrangements, or I want to start XYZ. I want this podcast to be successful, or yes, I put all that effort into WWE and into wrestling but it doesn't transfer into what I'm trying to do now. And I think that's the challenging part.
There's a Bible verse, all labor has profit or something like that. Like, I think, again, it's another thing of how do you view it? You did all those things. You went through all that stuff. You can look at it as, why does it keep happening to me? And let that define you. Or you can look at it as, holy shit, look what I keep overcoming. Look at the lessons that I've learned. Look at what the first firing taught me, then the second, then the third, then the fourth. Like, we can either look at it as, I've been fired this many times, that must mean I suck, or I've been fired this many times, what have I learned and who am I now and how do I keep growing? So I think it's honestly just how you frame it.
Mm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can be defined by the things that happen to you, or you
Yeah.
can just reframe it in a way of being like,
yeah, I mean, I had a few
because it's very
calls
easy to
this
fall
week
into that
about
trap
things.
of like,
And
are you not entertained?
yeah, I mean, I had a few calls this week, which used to, give me anxiety of like, oh, I got to do this call and blah, blah, blah. And like, I did both of them in my sweatshirt and was like, all right, what do you got? Like,
I also think you're reaching a level of confidence that
we're not giving a shitness.
Yeah, but you've just been doing a lot of these things for a long time. And I think you're reaching a level of like mastery where you're comfortable with it, like it's just what you do. Like, you know how to show up for the meetings.
Yeah. I mean, I used to spend so much time. I would spend like 2 hours doing my makeup and my hair, and I would like spend so much time on that. But it was because I was trying to hide the fact that I had no skills when it came to interviewing and now I look forward to figuring out like how can I accomplish what I want during the meeting without having to do all the fancy, like
necessary.
Well, most of it isn't. So I had someone say it to me recently, and I found it fascinating that because I was talking about how you know I I don't I don't have the bod that I did 20 years ago or something like that, and like and when we were talking about like, oh, you should have been picked up by this talent agency, and I was like, well, I just back then I didn't have the experience. I didn't have the personality I do now because I didn't have all of the experiences that I do now. And I was like, and now I don't have the bod that I did back then that got me through the door to go to those meetings. And then I bombed in those meetings when I was trying to get an agent when I was living in LA because I didn't have the confidence. And I spent so much time before going into those agency meetings where I was like doing my hair and finding the perfect outfit and all this stuff to go into an agency meeting where I had like nothing to offer, or I did have plenty to offer at the time, but I was too afraid to just be myself.
Mm-hmm.
And now that
you lacked confidence
I'll just be myself. But now, because of my age and my bod or whatever, I can't get into those rooms anymore that I used to be able to get into.
Well, that's because
So patience did great.
Being in
I
those
love it.
wasn't the end game. That was being in those rooms was building up your ability to find the confidence into who you are now. Like you faked it
Yeah.
until you were eventually trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. Oh, okay. Now I'm starting to morph into who I am and what I should do here.
Yeah. I was just thinking about Celebrity Apprentice. Like, so when I was on Celebrity Apprentice, there was a lot of people on there that were like, "Oh, you're too young to, understand business or whatever."
How old were you at the time? 20.
I was 27, I think, and it was 2009. So I was doing that, but a lot of it was just hard work, and hard work I wasn't afraid of, so I would just get it done.
Yeah.
And like every task we were on, we won. And I think about that of I had the knowledge in my mind. So then when it came to just nose to the grindstone working, like I just did it, because it wasn't like I had to go and talk about it in a meeting.
Sure.
That, was that it was set up through an agency.
You could just do the work.
I could just do the work.
Yeah.
And so like that's always been my bread and butter. And I think that's why like at a certain point now it's like it's flipped almost of to where like the meetings and everything are my bread and butter.
Sure.
Because I'm like whatever. And now it's like I have to still do the work, but I'm exhausted by the work at this point. So it's not as easy for me to just like cold call 1,000 people, send 100 messages on LinkedIn asking for money, send 50,000 emails about the tiniest of detail for whatever. And I'm just like, can we just do it already? Because I'm like,
you don't want to do that part anymore.
I'm just, yeah. And
you probably don't necessarily have to if you're savvy with the meetings, don't you think?
I'm trying.
Yeah, I would imagine at a certain point it like outweighs the other one, like it's hard work.
Maybe I'm at like a pivot point of like,
that's kind of what I was saying. Like maybe it's the hard work leads you to this. Like you have to do the hard work to gain the experience and the knowledge. So you just put your nose to the grindstone. So you became good at that, and then that gives you the ability to propel into the savviness, the suaveness.
but I don't even I don't know. I don't even like for example.
Still blue. You're still blue. Go ahead.
I don't feel bad delegating anything at this point. Like, so I think a lot of times with managers, their problem is they're terrified that somebody is going to point out that they don't know how to do something. So like at this point in my career, I'm totally fine with delegating stuff because I'm okay if I am not the very best at something, because I know that there's probably something else that I'm much better at, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I know that the end game is all that matters.
What did we hear the other day? The leaders don't create followers, leaders create
leaders.
More leaders.
Yeah.
I love that. I thought that was so cool.
Because you have to.
Yeah.
Like,
it reminded me of you a lot because that's very much been your mindset since you like kind of got behind the wrestling camera. It's like you're very much a leader to this generation of female wrestlers, and it's like it's because you don't give them the tools to follow you and do what Maria Kanellis says. You give them the tools to be themselves and to be a leader themselves. And I think that's that quote just reminded me of you because I see you do it all the time, and it's really fucking cool. Because I think that is the true definition of a leader. I think it's a leader, like, is always in the back, making sure everyone else is in front of them. That's you. Like, it's, yeah.
well, I mean, I guess if you run something just so you can get a pat on the back, then that probably makes you a really poor leader.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot
because I don't care. Like that's part of it too. It's like I don't care.
But if you have like a manager in a store, like at the end of the day, they're looking like they're in a leadership position, but it's still a selfish position. That's why I think it takes special people to be leaders. Because like if you're in a management position, you're still thinking like, okay, what can this do for me? Very rarely do you get in that position and be like, all right, what can I now do for everyone else? And I think that's the true definition of a leader. What can I now do for everyone else?
So I have a way of rating good leaders versus bad leaders. And like if I'm talking about, I don't know, if you're a teacher and if they aren't left your class and they have more skills for the next class that they're in, then you probably weren't very good at it. Like you don't, and that I think that goes for parenting as well, which is like the biggest
doing.
The biggest, like,
there is nothing like parenting to tell you you don't have a clue.
Oh, it's
nothing like parenting. Just a constant, like a constant punch in the face of like,
yes,
you don't have a fucking clue what you're doing. You're an idiot. It is.
And even if you think you're doing the right thing,
but how
like
is it
something will happen, and you're like, oh,
it challenges.
Well, that just destroyed everything that I thought I was right about.
It challenges me every day. And on the days that it challenges me the most, it's also the most rewarding. Like, it's such a weird fucking dynamic. It teaches you so much about, like, what life actually is.
So here's one for you.
All right, hit me with it.
You aren't raising your children, you're raising yourself.
Oh. I feel like that's what I've been doing a lot lately. Being like, oh, that's why you're doing that. Okay, I need to stop. Okay. And it's that recognition is painful.
It's so painful.
It's such an incredible pain of like,
especially if you're not a patient person, and then you have to like, oh shit, so now I gotta fix this problem that I created. So not only do you have the pain of not being patient, but also you're the one that created the problem. So now you have to make sure you fix it, otherwise they're in for a world of challenges.
Yeah.
A lifetime of them trying to fix this problem.
It's just painful too, because you don't,
not even thinking about it.
Exactly. That's why it's painful, because you're like, I thought I was doing everything the right way. And
No.
when I take an even further zoom out, I realize, holy shit,
you're wrong.
I was fucking dead wrong. Great.
Here you go. Here's one for you with this. Throw out your conceited opinions, for it is impossible for a person to begin to learn what he thinks he already knows. That is Epictetus. Thank you, Epictetus. I love this book. It's the Daily Stoic. But yes, and I think that is a huge problem of mine. It's because I always feel like I am a full vessel of knowledge.
You like to be right.
Of course I like to be right. Who likes to be wrong? Nobody likes to be wrong.
I don't give a fuck.
Whatever.
I don't. I think if you like, I think I used to, but I think if you get to a place where like you look at everything as knowledge, you're like, I don't, okay, I'm wrong. Now I'm not. You know? I was wrong. I learned. I was right. But
I think, okay, so...
Or I'm not right. I become right, because then I learn.
Great. I am a full vessel. I have, like...
It's a much more relaxing way of going through life. Not needing to show people, tell people. It's just, you're wrong. You learn. You'll be wrong again. Then you'll learn. Like, I don't know. I think...
But, okay, so he says I don't like to be wrong. He just doesn't like my approach when I am wrong. Like, I change consistently.
Approach. It's a lack of approach.
I
will be right about something, and, like, months later, she'll come around and be like, you won't even say it. You just start doing it. I guess that's better. Like,
I hate people that just say
I know.
shit.
As I was saying that out loud, I was like, maybe that is the right way to go. I don't know.
See, I'm right.
Nah.
I win. Ding.
What was that?
Ding, 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 ding. My tallies of
Oh.
winning. That's all. Just my tallies.
You're the Robert Parrish 000.
Okay, good. Good job.
Chief.
All of that. Yeah, I mean, I think with being a parent, it's tough because every day they are changing and they are growing. And so you start to figure something out with them. And every baby is different too. So it's not even like you could be like, oh, I had one baby and the next one is the same. No, they're not.
Nope. Totally different personalities.
Yes, totally different personalities and uh different sleeping patterns, different everything. Like it's wild how just different they are. But so you have to learn to be super humble every single day to going, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I just have to continue to try my best in hopes that tomorrow will be a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. Because you want them to have like a happy, good childhood. You want them to have joy and find what they're passionate about. Like, I don't, people say whatever they want to say about this, but I don't believe in just creating robot children that get straight A's. Like, some of the most intelligent people in the world were either expelled from school or never finished or never didn't learn how to read until they were, in fifth grade. Like this whole thing. Now I am gonna be hypocritical because timing. I think and like having this timeline of when someone is successful is or how they're successful. I think is complete bullshit. So there you go. Now I've now spun myself
You've
into
come
a
to the
hole.
dark side. Welcome. We have cookies. Say it with me.
No, I don't want to.
Say it with me.
No,
Okay.
really don't want to.
Who's that children's psychologist where he says all you can ever do is just love your children unconditionally and then figure out the rest. As long as you love them unconditionally, that is the most amount of control that you can put in. And
So whenever somebody says something like that, you know what the underlying meaning behind it is? Yes, if you love them unconditionally, you will do everything in your power to figure it out.
Exactly.
So like when they say stuff like that, a lot of times there's like 50 other things that are underneath that.
Sure.
Yes. Oh my.
But I think
that's just like me being like, I love you so much.
That's not loving unconditionally.
But you're so big.
No. That's not loving unconditionally though. That's pampering. If you truly love someone unconditionally, then you, like you said, you will figure it out. You'll figure out what loving unconditionally means.
But that again, that's like a baseline.
I think that's the
literally says nothing.
theme. It gives you a direction to head in as a parent. Love them unconditionally because there will be moments in your life where you have.
What they should say is do everything in your power not to fuck them.
You have zero clue what you're doing. And you're most likely going to fuck them up because you're human and every single generation fucks up their kids in one way or the other because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're still learning and growing yourself.
Whatever the society is when these kids are born is not the same society by the time they're adults.
No, and you hope you give them, all you can ever do is just give them the tools to adapt.
So why isn't it that the school systems are not based on adaptation and conquering challenges?
I don't know. That's probably you probably have to go back decades to figure out like why the school system was set up.
It's actually Rockefeller's problem or thing that he came up with is he wanted to.
Jay-Z?
What?
Rockefeller? No. Oh, rocker. Oh, like the. Sorry. I thought it was. Never mind. Continue. Rockefeller. Okay.
Anyways, Rockefeller really wanted education to be created to create great factory workers. Not.
I did hear something like that. Like the structure came during the Industrial Revolution.
Yes.
To make great. Well, that's probably why. Like because
This is 100 years after that.
we're so fucking slow. We're always slow. It's like, well,
I'm not patient.
So many people are just like, well, that's just the way it's always been done. So we might as well just keep going down that.
But it's not right. We live in an entrepreneurial society. Like, millionaires and billionaires are made through social media and through inventing new ideas. They're not made from going to a 9 to 5. I mean, maybe. But not usually.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's like, it's easy. So
why wouldn't we create?
Because it's easy to take the path of least resistance, right? For most people, just.
And then someone is going to say, well, then.
The old way ain't broke, don't fix it. But it is broke. But like you said, it might have worked then, but that doesn't mean it works now.
No. But if I was a politician, me again, this is part of my political.
Like if you were literally in the Industrial Revolution, it makes, like, it's called the Industrial Revolution. It makes sense why in that time.
Yes, but
probably designed to set a factory.
So...
But we don't live in that time anymore. It's such a different time that we should probably start teaching our kids to be prepared for what's coming next.
Yes. It's just like taxes or property taxes or any of this shit that was invented like 50 years ago or 100 years ago in the United States. I know taxes are... Anyway, you know why taxes...
Lots of tax collectors.
Do you know why taxes were
in the
formed?
Bible.
Yes. Do you know why?
Steal my money.
Protection. Because this tribe would come over and invade this tribe and everybody would die.
So you'd give them a percentage to protect you?
Yes, it was all protection. And so, like, it doesn't make any sense nowadays.
I wish my taxes paid for my own personal bodyguard.
Oh, it's not like our neighbor is going to come over here.
Yeah, but then I'd have a fucking buddy.
No, I'm talking, he's not going to invade our house.
No, I know, but I'm talking about my tax money paying for my own personal bodyguard.
No, you want a buddy.
But I said we'd be buddies. Like, you could keep me safe, but whatever. Like, it's cool. Who keeps you safe? Would there just be a bodyguard with the bodyguard? Because everyone paid. I should show myself out. Mm-hmm. I've reached that point of no return.
Well, I mean, when we first started dating, you always seemed to have, like, an additional person.
Well, this is true. It's because I needed drugs.
We just went
I like drugs. I mean, I liked drugs.
I mean, you probably, in some part of your body, still like drugs.
Yeah.
But you just don't do them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. That's just what happens.
So is there a way that I can, like, take that kind of...
Do drugs?
No! I don't want time. Something terrible happened.
Give me some time.
And I was like, I wish I did drugs, because then I would know what to do.
Know what to do.
Meanwhile, this guy already was doing drugs. He knew exactly what to do.
What to do.
I'm not saying that's what to do at all. It's not anything that I want to do. I just hit my microphone. Sorry for the loud, if it was loud.
Blow up.
But maybe I could take that philosophy of, like, you like drugs, but you don't do drugs because you know they're bad.
Yeah.
For me to go, I like everything to be super fast, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I can just do the patience because...
You make peace with it.
You
make peace with the fact that, like, I make peace with the fact that I have an addictive personality. So that is the path forward, to understand that. That is how I have to navigate moving forward. Because, like, it's easy to just put your head in the sand and say, I don't want to talk about it. But then you will fall into the same pitfalls that you always fall into, which is not being patient or being an addict. So, yeah. What you reading?
If you're searching for the one person who will change your life, look in the mirror.
Someone said it. I mean, lots of people have said it, but for some reason it stuck the other day. like it's no one's coming to fucking save you. And I think for a long time in my life that
Honey, I think I've been saying that to you for at
yeah, but we
least.
talk about this all the time. It doesn't matter until you see it yourself. Like you can tell me till I'm blue in the face. It's like when you
No, until I'm blue in the
well,
face.
you could be blue in the face, and I'll also be blue in the face because I'll be holding my breath since you're holding your breath. Because
Sometimes he gets like these like phrases and like
oh, I get them wrong.
you
I'm like Michael Scott.
he totally gets it wrong.
Early worm gets the worm.
Sometimes I don't tell him because I like to see how long this is going to go on before he figures
They used
out
to have that.
it's
Remember
totally
when
wrong.
we lived in Providence and we listened to 98.5 The Sports Up, and they had Zoisms for Scott Zolak because he would just say the phrases completely wrong.
I think that might be the one thing I missed about the East Coast.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's the sports.
Yeah, no Sports Hub.
That was a good radio station.
Is it still around?
Yeah, it was a great radio. And Jay Stu still works there.
Okay.
Reminiscing.
Cool. What? Yeah, only about that though.
Good.
All right. Well.
Moral of the story: be patient. Don't blow it up.
What is that? There's a scene in it's Groot, Baby Groot.
Oh.
So when Baby Groot and they tell him, okay, so
is that when he's dancing?
Well, he's supposed to go in and then hit a button, but not the one button because the one button blows up everyone, but the other button is the right button. And then when he's like going, he said, I think I'm that person. And I'm like,
Baby Groot.
A Baby Groot. And I'm going, and I'm like, get down.
So tempting.
I'm like,
it's red.
No,
it's blinking.
No. And like Baby Groot like shakes his head, and he's like, no, not that one. But I really want to.
It's got music playing out of it. It's very tempting.
Lame.
Push the patience button. Pull the patience lever.
Is it really pushing a button if it's patience, though? Isn't it more like sitting back?
Yeah, I think it's a lever. It's a slow.
No, stop. Even that bothers me. Like, hurts my.
Like double fisted.
Yeah? Like this?
Okay. That is an awful way to end this show.
It's a great way. It's the way you wish we were ending the show. Friends?
Later. Yeah! Fucking balloons!
I got balloons.
Push that button. Push that button. Push that button.